A lot of CEOs took the approach that Fleetwood Growler took. He's the CEO of Sasol, South African energy company. They have around 35,000 employees. He was called at the beginning of October of 2019, and he was out fishing somewhere, and the chairman of the board calls him and says, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's like, "Good, I'm out fishing." And they're like, "Great, we need you to be back here by the end of October. You're the new CEO. And we need you to also deliver the financial performance of the company to everybody." He's like, I've never done that before. And he's like, "Great, you'll figure it out. See you soon." So he does what he needs to do, and shortly after he comes and becomes CEO, the pandemic happens. The pandemic happens, the company craters. They're in debt, $13 billion. And when I interviewed him, he told me the banks were literally knocking at our door. They were ready to come in and just take everything over and sell us for parts. And I said, "Well, what did you do? That's a very vulnerable situation to be in." And he went in front of everybody, and he delivered a message. And his message was, "I don't know the answers of how we're going to get out of this. I don't know the solution. But what I do know is that we have a great team. What I do know is that I see a path forward. What I do know is that we can rebuild trust with our employees. We can rebuild trust with our customers. And if you come with me on this journey, then together we will figure it out." That is what leading with vulnerability means. Now, if you were to imagine these things on a quadrant, right, and you were to lay vulnerability and leadership, this is what it looks like. So at the bottom left, we have somebody that's not really vulnerable, not really in a leadership role. That's the novice. That's maybe somebody who's in a path to leadership, but they're not quite there yet. Bottom right, we have what I like to call the robot. This is somebody who's very capable, very competent, but doesn't have that connection with people. And so a lot of employees will look at that leader and they'll say, "Wow, so-and-so's great at their job, but they're a freaking robot, man. I can't connect with them. There's no humanness there." The flip side of that is the top left is the incompetent leader. This is somebody who maybe got into a position of leadership. They were really good at some point, and maybe they just kind of chilled back a little bit. You know, the world changed. They didn't adapt with it. And so they're really good at that connection, that human aspect of leadership. But a lot of people kind of question, like, should that person be in their role? In the ideal scenario is you want to be in that top right category of being a vulnerable leader. So this is kind of the quadrant, right? And as you hear this and see this, ask yourself, where do you think you are in this mix? It's also really important for that novice area. Because the novice, these are the people who work with and for you. These are the people who are going to decide where are they going to go in this quadrant. And the way that they are going to decide where they go is where you go. So if you're the robot, they're going to be the robot. If you're the incompetent leader, they're going to be the incompetent leader. And if you lead with vulnerability, they will lead with vulnerability. And this will transform you, your people, and your organization.